Providence High Court, just past that. Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Kaotic Radio, and we are the Cannabis Couch with your host, Shay C, and my co-host,
Frank B, in the house.
Today, we are going to go over a little bit of world cannabis news. There are a few things that we forgot to cover last week that were actually very, very important in the world of cannabis. And because there's just a lot going on worldwide, not just here in Southern California, not just here in the United States, but worldwide, this is becoming a gigantic movement. So we are going to start off with just diving right into it, that we're going to start in South Africa, that the South African High Court has ruled that cannabis production and consumption is legal at home. I did a little bit of research into this, and it's not all of South Africa. It is the Western Cape Province that has now ruled this, because so many people were just kind of doing it themselves, growing it themselves, and the government just kind of gave up and said, you know what? Well, you can do it at home all by yourself. You can do it at home all you want, and we really don't want to keep putting people in jail for this, which is what I kind of think is an awesome thing. It's kind of the way that Amsterdam went, a little bit less of it because they don't have coffee shops or anything, but still not putting people in jail for having cannabis and wanting to create a better cannabis plant in their own home, and you know, just being able to relax and recreationally enjoy this cannabis plant. So what's your thoughts on that there, Frank?
Legalize it everywhere, worldwide. That's my
everywhere, yeah. Just legalize it. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck it. Legalize it. Well, also, there's a few different things. Well, if you're talking about legalize it, let's go over here back to Argentina. How about that? Because Congress just voted to legalize medical marijuana in Argentina.
Shit. Catch me outside.
Yeah, seriously, for real, right? It's going everywhere. Like, that is the entire country. That's not just talking about a certain state or a certain city inside Argentina. Yeah. That is literally saying the entire country can now have medical marijuana. I'm not sure what their rules and regulations are exactly going to be, but just for that step to happen is a pretty awesome thing, a step in the right direction, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah, the drug war has gone on for way too long, and fighting over weed, you know, it's not an easy fight, you know, and the people that have stuck around and fought long and hard, you know, the results speak for itself, you know. It's marijuana. It's just a plant, and they're fighting. People are losing their families over it, you know, going to jail for life. It's
homes,
just businesses, yeah,
everything.
Yeah, so I commend them.
Well, we're gonna keep on going with a little bit more of the world news. I'm trying to get through this a little bit faster because there are some really awesome things I want to talk about here that are happening in the United States at this moment with cannabis. I read actually a funny story that said the world's leader in cannabis, or I'm sorry, it used the word marijuana, which I really don't like to use, but it said the world leading marijuana expert says that he has never smoked a joint.
What?
Yeah, see, I don't get how you can be the world leading expert in marijuana, but yet still never have consumed the actual plant itself.
I don't trust people who don't consume the product that they study. I mean, what's the best way to study something?
Try it. See what the physical effects are on your own self are, and then go ahead and go from there is pretty much what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, here's one more big thing, and this is one of the last things I wanted to touch on when we're hitting the world news topic, is because kind of something that we always talk about here, considering that our biggest sponsor is the TerpHouse. Shout out to those guys.
Shout out TerpHouse.
Well, Canada has done a lot of research, and researchers have identified the genes that give cannabis its flavor. Well, I think we pretty much all know what that is, and those are terps. Well, they've come back to say that's even a little bit more than that. It's not just the fact that it gives it its flavor and everything like that, the fact that it also does help open up the receptors in the brain, and as well as that they compare the terpenes in cannabis, get this, to fine wine grapes.
I have to agree.
Fine wine. I would definitely agree with that.
Not
statement.
all, like they say, not all wine is equal. Neither is all cannabis.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with Mexican brickweed.
Yeah, the Mexican brickweed.
Yeah, that
smells
pretty
great.
much sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we've all smoked that red hair and taken a chunk of it ourselves, either from our mom or dad's stash once or twice in our lifetimes.
Yep.
And now to switch gears, let's come back home. because world news is, well, world news, and really, quite frankly, I am most interested in what happens right here because that is what affects me, Frank, and basically all of you the most, which is world news here in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
So, Frank, go ahead and tell us about, I had you look up something a little bit before that they're trying to reschedule marijuana. Is that right?
Was this the Gates guy, Matt Gates?
Yeah, Matt Gates.
Gates. Let's see. Who is Gates, first of all? It says he's the American attorney and politician who has been in the U.S. representative for Florida's 1st Congressional District since 2017. Now, all right, I'm going to welcome a guest on here before we get into that. What's going on?
Walking in, come on in.
Yeah. Yeah, come on now.
It's
Come
too
on.
late. You can't say no. He already introduced you.
He's introduced.
But I'll let our guest to get set up here,
Yeah.
and then we'll introduce him and everything like
Absolutely.
that. But one thing I really like here about Matt Gates, is that, he is from Florida, and I don't know if how old y'all are, but we all know Florida doesn't have the best state for doing best reputation for being their, correct state.
Yeah.
They seem to always be have the flack go towards them, don't they?
They do.
But his quote here says that I have supported cannabis reform as a state legislature, and I want to see the people that I fought for in my state have access to legal, high-quality product that has been well researched. Well, I don't think I could put it any better. But that's pretty much what we need
More
all
research.
over the United States of America is access to legal, high-quality product that has been well researched. And, I mean, really, that's it. That hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, that should take the stance all the way and just go for it. It should be rescheduled to a Schedule 3 so more people can have access to it. It should be rescheduled so we can have a lot of research done. Because with it being a Schedule 1, you can't have research done on it, or very little research done on it. So my hat's off to you, Gates, and also Soto. Darren Soto is also a congressman, I believe, and he is backing the bill along with Gates. So thank you, gentlemen, very, very much for opening that up to us, because with that, if that bill passes, we will be able to have not only better research, but here's the kicker. Banks will then be able to get into the cannabis game. They will be able to throw banking money and banking loans at the cannabis industry, and with doing that is very much going to open up our world, because that is one of the things that stifles us now, is the fact that banks won't touch our money. Well, if banks start touching our money, that's going to very, very
why don't they? They don't do that because they don't recognize marijuana businesses as legit businesses,
right? Because they're all still federally legal. But with this, that's going to take it off of that Schedule 1, and it's going to allow banks to actually go ahead and give us some funding and take our money is the biggest thing. They don't need to fund us. We just need them to take our money in order to be able to get the capital that we need for everything else. Mm-hmm. Now, your homie came in and joined us, Franco.
This is my buddy Street, the homie.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Street? How you doing today, bro?
Speaking to the mic, bud.
What's good?
Not much. How you doing today? What's going on with you, bro?
Private party outside. Came in.
Oh yeah, getting this terp action.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you got to do. You must have a little bit of a break before you come in here, man.
Come on, right?
Yes, right. If we're sitting here talking about weed, you got to be high, right?
Fuck yeah.
That's just how it works. So, Street, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro. What are you doing here in the industry? What do you do for a living?
Which industry? The one where it involves cannabis, or the one that involves cannabis, or just culture?
Both, to be quite honest with you. What's your take on, honestly, the whole thing? That's what we are, the Cannabis Couch, man. I kind of want to know what you feel about it, and so we can talk about it.
It's the roots of a lot of industries. You know what I mean? The industry that needs personality and needs showmanship and needs, cannabis deserves a different type of credit because, it's not harming anyone at first. And then secondly, it's the harmony of the people when you're dealing with a multicultural environment and entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you when you talk about sharing time with people, it's not like you're gonna sit down and enjoy a whole gallon of Hennessy. It's impossible. A whole pile of it's impossible. But with herb, you know, it's a thing where you can smoke more than one cigarette or joint of it. You know, nobody's gonna sit and have a conversation with you and you smoke a whole pack of cigarettes back to back, blowing in each other's face. But, you know, comparing marijuana and then comparing your business and comparing each other's culture and lifestyles and how you were raised and how you got into, you know, what you got into, you know, that was all brought together by the essence of herb. You know, some of the best that God has made, the best men on earth have been out here smoking for over 20, 30, 40 years. You know, they're not joking when they say Bill Clinton and Cheech and Chong and the comedians and the rappers and the singers and the, you know, Whitney Houstons and anybody in the industry. They're gonna tell you openly, I smoke herb.
Yeah, those are just people that got caught. Imagine if everybody came out.
Oh,
Probably 3/4 of our the entertainment industry, if nothing else.
With what I do, I do this on the streets, so I broadcast through the streets every day, and I don't hide that I smoke. And once I show people I smoke, the reality comes into our conversations. You know, there's no uptightness or anything. It just breaks the ice, for one. And then for two, you know, if you can function smoking marijuana, then that means that you're seeing a whole broader aspect of things that you're doing. Okay, it's not like you're smoking, you're sitting down and you're drunk or you're just stoned. If you're smoking and you're conducting business, that means that you see the environment being raised bigger than what you're standing around. It looks like planets, it looks like stars, it looks like moons, it doesn't just look like the little earth you're living around in California, little city you've never been out of. You're seeing outside of the business.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So just to play a little game with everybody's mind and try to let them feel like I feel, because they probably already do. That's what the herb brings to the culture and the game nowadays, especially with social media. You know, everybody, how do you think these props are going through?
Oh man, people are doing it. You know, it's funny. I go to the dispensary sometimes, you know, and you see every type of person in there. You know, you see grandmas, teachers, you know, and it's like they're just there to get their medication, but they're the ones that are probably like saying they're against it to fit in, to be accepted by their friends that say they don't smoke weed, but they're the ones in line getting their free, you know, I want my free gram. I have my first time free gram or whatever.
Yeah, do I get my dab before
Do I get my dab before?
Because, like, I don't really dab, but I dab every time I come in here and I buy some cannabis from you guys. I see that too, especially, I've actually owned a dispensary and worked in many of them in my lifetime, and you really are amazed at the clientele that walks in. You will get that classic everyday, you know, stereotype of the stoner that comes in. Some of them do have dreadlocks and they just want to buy the $10 grams and they roll out because they want to go roll up a blunt. But sometimes you really will. You'll get grandma coming in being like, no, I need something for my arthritis, and she's truly there for the inflammation, for the pain.
Not to cut you off, but in the worst essence, you know, the police. You may get stopped or caught by the police thinking an old way, like I'm going straight to jail. But no, you know, 9 times out of 10 nowadays, they're either asking you for your card, or they're saying, do you have just that? You know, do you just have just a joint or a blunt, or you know, and they'll let you go. You know, and you'll walk away and be straight. And it's just like you keep thinking, oh, it's a close scare, but it's really not, because it's accepted now. You know, so
it's more of a paperwork hassle for them now to bust you for a joint than anything else.
Yeah,
it's like they're gonna bust you for a joint. It's gonna take them 3 hours to do the paperwork. They might as well just throw it on the ground and let you walk away at that point.
Right, and you got people breaking in cars and doing all types of other shit. You know, let me walk with my joint.
Yeah, seriously. If I'm stoned, I'm not gonna be committing any crime. I'm too fucking high to really want to do anything.
Laid back.
I just want to chill. Just want to walk down the street and not really deal with much. Well, man, what else do you do? I know you're in the cannabis industry, but I know you do low riders and stuff like that. Is that right too, Street?
Right. I broadcast, you know, throughout my social media, and link all the low riders together. And like I always speak on communities. You have a community of radio artists, singers, rappers. We have a community of low riders. And we all stay in touch through me and my fellow photographers and mediographers out there. And if you're true to it, you'll get the acceptance in that game.
Yeah, that's what's up. Real recognizes real.
Real recognize real. You got, you've seen the best of the best, either low riding or driving a fast car, and that's because they got some type of balls, and like I said, they got some type of energy and passion towards, where they come from. And that's where it all starts to me, haircuts, cars, your clothing, your talk, your walk, and your smoke.
Yeah, your persona, bro. It's what it is.
That's what's carrying people nowadays. It's really shining. I'm appreciating it now. It's like against the law 10, 20 years ago to be this, huh?
Yeah, isn't it a trip, man? I remember sitting back 10, 20 years ago saying, man, is this ever going to get to this point? Can we ever do this? And now I got a fucking radio show called The Cannabis Couch, bro.
That's
where I
crazy.
can I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Oh, yeah.
I can talk about cannabis all day with my best friends. And, well, my job just doesn't suck, does it?
Right.
I used to have to hide what I do. Now I'm so far in the public image that I just don't even care anymore.
Right.
I see all my buddies, and everybody's just so happy to see where the industry has become, or has come, and what it has become. I'm sorry. I was at the Hitman Coffee Shop. Shout out Hitman Glass and Hitman Dougie. I was at the Hitman Coffee Shop grand opening on Friday night, and to see the camaraderie between everybody to come together, it was just amazing. Everybody sitting down, taking dabs. I don't think anybody was paying for anything in that whole store, to be quite honest with you. I walked in with no dabs and left so fucking stoned. It was ridiculous because I just was having everything was here.
People
here.
share weed. That's the thing about weed. It's like, man, if you have like the bombest shit, I don't want to sell it. I'll smoke it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me share this. Like, dude, you got to try my fucking strain. This is some crazy shit.
You go to concerts, you're smoking with, him and her, whoever.
Yeah, they're just coming down the line. What I like about now, what I do have to say about the weed industry now is I remember going to concerts 15 years ago, and the weed coming down, you'd smell it first. You'd examine the joint. Like, do I want to hit this?
Mm-hmm.
Now with all the good weed, you're like, fuck it. I know it's good. I'm going to hit this shit. Nobody's going to bring some bunk-ass shit to a concert anymore.
Right.
It's kind of what I love about this shit.
Yeah.
I actually had a joint taken from me not that long ago, and I know that goddamn security guard took it and smoked it, that little fucker. And if you're listening, I hope you fucking enjoyed it because it had like a half a gram of hash in it, bitch.
Damn, got him.
I didn't been to so many concerts from back in the day to the DJ Quicks and Dub C's and the now up to date rappers like Wiz Khalifa and Currency, and with all those people, we've always smoked first. We always blazed before and after the show.
Got to get your mind right.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to think what it would be without that.
Oh, definitely not as fun.
Definitely not.
Definitely not as fun. And I think the show would be different too because you guys have a different atmosphere when you guys are up there on stage, or even if you're in the studio performing.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of a laid back atmosphere. You don't have that stress, punching down on you. You just
Right.
you're able to flow. You're able to get with it. It's like you're kicking it with your homies, except for you're rapping for 20,000 fucking people.
If you're going to a Snoop Dogg concert, are you thinking about going sober?
Hell no.
No.
You'd be the only motherfucker there sober.
Or maybe like Coachella. Coachella's coming up.
Yeah.
You going there just to drink water?
No
No.
way.
You better be there with your bong and your pipe and your wraps, your raws, your swishers, your Dutches, your whatever, and be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Or your TerpHouse pins. Can't forget
TerpHouse
about that.
pins.
Disposable
Your Terp
TerpHouse
pins.
pins.
You better have it.
You got to have it nowadays, and it's kind of a necessity, man. I remember getting patted down back in the day, and they'd give you a hassle if you had something on you. Now they feel like, what is that? You tell them, oh, it's weed, or oh, it's cannabis, marijuana, whatever you want to say, and most of them are just like, yeah, whatever.
Man, I brought a half a pound into EDC, Vegas, 2012. My buddy, last minute, he's like, hey, by the way, you got to hold this. I'm like, we're in line. And I'm like, dude, why can't you hold it? Because he's like, because I got something else. I don't want to, be caught with too much stuff. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Half a pound? Why? And then I realized, like, it's barter chips there,
Yeah, he may not have sold it all, but it was all gone by the time you guys
it was
left. You had one hell of a
gone.
time,
Some
didn't you?
kryptonite.
Oh, some kryptonite,
It was
too.
glowing in the dark weed.
Some kryptonite, too. That's some pretty damn good weed.
Crazy shit.
Pretty damn good weed.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Frank, because I don't really know if I've gotten your view on this on the radio. I know I've asked you this off the radio, but on the radio.
Yeah.
What is your view of 64 and where we are headed with cannabis? Oh, everybody,
what
hold
time
on
is
one
it?
second.
That's my view.
That's the view.
420.
That's right.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Happy 420, everybody.
Sweet.
I hope you're lighting up for us because we do still have to wait a few more minutes to take our 420 break. So take a big-ass bong toke for me, everybody, please.
Yeah.
But Frank, I'm sorry. Now back to the question of where do you think cannabis in California is going to go now after Prop 64 coming through and being in a way recreational use for legalization here in California? Where do you think it's going to go from now on?
Where do I don't know. There's so many rumors moving around and disinformation. I don't know. Right now, you ask one person one question, they're like, oh yeah, all the dispensaries are going to get closed, and you got to be grandfathered in now. I mean, one thing that I don't like about it right now is the fact I can't have 99 plants. I don't understand. I mean, I know if Lambo was here right now, he'd be arguing with me saying, what the fuck you need 99 plants for personal use?
Well, that was actually about to come out of my mouth too. What the fuck you need 99 plants for? I smoke with you. I know how much you smoke. What the fuck you need 99 plants for,
I'm
bro?
stoned right now. I was thinking the same thing.
I was thinking the same thing. So suspect. Okay, I like to grow. I mean, it is it's a catch, man. You put me on the spot here. All I know, they're saying you can buy it like a pack of. Eventually, you're gonna be able to buy it like a pack of cigarettes at the smoke shop. Now, I mean, what does that do for the grower?
Let's hit on that for a minute, and let's bring up the. You said pack of cigarettes, right? So that's basically the best thing we have to go off of here. And how does anybody smoke in here? I don't smoke, but how much does a pack of cigarettes cost?
Oh, now what? They just passed Prop 56, so a pack of cigarettes now is $2.50 more than what it was. So it's like $10.50 for a pack of cigarettes. I don't personally smoke. Like when I drink, I'll have a cigarette just to calm the buzz or whatever, keep the buzz going. But for a smoker, I mean, $10.56 for a pack of cigarettes. If you weigh out the price of weed, of marijuana for what's a gram? You can get
10 to 20.
10 to 20.
What you get.
Right. So, not saying what's healthier. We already know what's healthier. But
you might get an eighth for 25.
Or an eighth for 25.
Or 20. Depends on where you go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And nowadays, yeah. But see, my thought is that cigarettes cost $10.50 a pack. All right. Let's even just say $10 a pack to call it a nice even round number. And cannabis is $10 a gram, and there's generally about a gram in every single joint if you roll a nice joint, if you don't roll some fucking pinner like a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. So if it's $10 a gram and there comes 20 cigarettes in every single pack of cigarettes, right? So you're gonna have $10 a gram times 20, that's $200 for a pack of joints. Now I don't know about you, but there is no way in hell I am paying $200 for a pack of 20 joints.
That's what it's going to turn into.
And my question is that where this industry is going? Are we going to the point where now we can buy eights for $30? I think is actually pretty much the going rate. Okay. You can find some for 25, you can find some for 35, but $30 I think is the going rate for an eighth because they break you off. They give you the 3 grams and they kind of give you the half a gram for free, or 0.7 is what it's supposed to be. But everybody's in it for profit, right?
Yeah.
So if right now I can get an eighth for $30 and that's 3.5, but then once legislation really comes into play here in 2018, and once we really start getting our licensing and the true dispensaries are open, the ones that are licensed and are being taxed, how much are we really going to start paying?
That's scary.
Because look at it. They tax the hell out of cigarettes.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Most of that $250 that they just went up, I think most of that is just tax. That just goes to the state for buying a pack of cigarettes. So if they know that they can tax cigarettes that people are going to buy all the time, no matter what, I'm very afraid, to be honest with you, on how they are going to tax cannabis here in California, because I believe Colorado, and that's going to suck. Mm-hmm. Because that is going to trickle down to the people buying it in the gram, and I believe grams are going to go up to being $30.
Yeah.
We get an eighth right now for $30. Imagine when you're paying a gram is $30.
Now these mom and pop growers, that's the rumor on the street. The mom and pop growers are going to go away. The underground growers, the suppliers, the people who enjoy the cannabis plant themselves, it's going to be illegal. And it's like, what did we really accomplish by Prop 64?
Well, I think by Prop 64, one thing I can see that we really accomplished is we are able now to get cannabis to the masses. Right.
Yeah.
Now, anybody over the age of 21 can legally, after 2018, can legally go into a licensed dispensary or then storefront. You won't even have to call them dispensaries, and be able to purchase cannabis as much as legally allowed. My whole thing is that with that, I believe a little bit more of stigmata is going to come across, because you're going to have more people walking around stoned. More people are going to be going to their jobs stoned. And we're going to have a little bit of a fight on our hands in order to kind of say, you know what, we can do this stoned.
This is how much you can have, though.
Right. You know, and what I think employers are gonna really hate is the fact that they're gonna watch their employees continue the same exact productivity and be high as fuck while doing it. And so I really think that employees and employers are gonna have a better relationship, to be quite honest, because it's gonna be a more of a relaxed work environment. Bosses aren't going to be so stressed. I mean, hell, there's so many times I want to look at my boss and tell him go smoke a joint. And as a matter of fact, I can, because it's Lambo, so I tell his ass to go smoke a joint.
You have to remind him to eat, too.
Yeah, remind him to eat. But hey, that's just because he's a fucking beast, bro.
He's a beast.
I believe it. He does not stop working.
Now, off the subject for a minute, because we were talking about that earlier. I don't want to cross shows, but about work ethic. Okay, there's people on different levels, you know, that work. Like, I gotta say, street. I don't know too many people other than Lambo who work on that level they don't get tired. Like what's his name? Kevin Gates. You know, I don't get tired. They just keep going. They take naps while they're hustling. I'm like, I can't believe it. And that's probably how Brandon is. You know.
Oh yeah, Lambo, man. That guy goes to bed early and wakes up early.
Wow.
I mean, sometimes you wake up to it.
And the cannabis is like my fuel.
That's the fuel.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the first things I do in the morning is wake up and take a bong toke. It helps me out. It helps me sort out the day and be like, okay, this is what I got to do. Put my shit in a line. I got to do this. Got to get ready. Got to brush my teeth, take a shower, and get the fuck out the door. But if I don't get high in the morning, I'm fucking forgetting everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I got to get high real quick, and all of a sudden everything falls into place for me.
Everything falls in place. Yeah, it's a motivator, I can say. You know, for some people, you know, that just smoke all day and don't do anything, you're going to get more of not doing anything. You have to be active. If you're smoking weed, you got to be proactive. And you know, I like to go hiking. I like to jog in the morning right before I smoke. I walk my dog. I have a red-nosed pit bull, and she walks me. She pulls me. And next thing I know, we're jogging and sprinting. She's like a horse. But when I'm high, I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm getting in shape. Feels, you know, it's good. You know, that's what's up. Some people work out on it. Some people, train MMA, you know. So, you know, everyone has their thing.
Yeah, I like getting high right after I work out or ride my mountain bike or something. It's like because that oxygen's flowing through your body, and then you smoke, and it's kind of like you get those endorphins flowing a little bit more. And I don't know about you all, but I feel a little bit more stoned at that point.
Yeah.
It's not... And to me, sometimes it's not a productive high, because I'm somebody that only smokes OGs. Because if I smoke a sativa, like I'll want to run a fucking marathon. Yeah. But I only smoke OGs, and sometimes after I get done, and I'll smoke a fucking OG, I'm like, I want to eat, I want to go to bed, because it feels amazing after that.
Okay, so what might happen with marijuana in the workforce? You know, people may become more productive. You know, we'll have to see. I know. You don't have that. You're not going to have that fear of, are they going to random drug test me? Am I going to fail a drug test? I want to get a job. I can't get a job because they're doing drug tests. Now, is that going to be in Prop 64? Is that, I haven't read the fine line, but now, do employers have to abide by it?
As much as I understand this, it is if your employer is basically registered in the state of California, and they do not do any really federal business, and they're not federally regulated, no federal licensing or anything like that, then pretty much you're going to be able to smoke, but you cannot obviously smoke while at work or smoke while operating a vehicle. You can smoke at home. And and with cannabis, they really can't tell if you've been smoking at lunch or if you've been smoking at home, unless, of course, they can see it on you or, you know, your eyes. But if you do a good job of covering it up, nobody can really tell that you're stoned.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, taking before you go on an interview, you know, they after your interview, they always say, all right, now we're going to have to do a drug test. And, you know, some of you people are, you know, I know the kids, the teenagers shouldn't be doing that anyways, but they're like, hey, you know, how do I I got to take this drug test. I'm afraid I'm not going to get the job because of, I smoked maybe a month ago or something. It's still in my system.
Well, I actually don't know, to be honest with you. I've read through 64, and I didn't really catch a spot in there that really said that employers can't random drug test people. I do know with it being on a state level that if they do random drug test you and you come up positive for marijuana, you have one hell of a fight behind your corner, because then at that point they have to prove your negligence and saying, well, he was high at work. Well, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, not being able to hire someone because they medicate, that needs to be in the fine print as well. There's a lot of people out there I know, looking for a job.
Well, I think that'll come down to the discrimination part of it. The fact that it's legal, it's recreational legal. If you're going to discriminate against somebody because they use recreational marijuana at home, that's a discrimination charge. Yeah. That's just like hiring, not hiring you because you're black, or not hiring Stretch maybe because he's in a wheelchair or something. Yeah. That's not allowed at all. You know what I mean? There's definite rules. There's been rules set up for decades for that kind of stuff. You cannot discriminate against someone, especially if you can prove that you can walk in there and do your job.
Right.
If you can walk in there and do your job high, then they shouldn't really have anything to talk shit about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know how many of y'all been bosses, but I have been a boss to many people and many things, and I understand one thing, that a happy employee is a good employee, and they will work harder for you. And I never have stressed my people, what you do at work is what you do at work, and what you do at home is what you do at home. Leave both of them where they're at, and we'll have a good relationship.
Amen.
So I really don't think it's going to affect employees and employers too much, unless you are on a federal level. I mean, if you're an FAA inspector and you're living in California, you're not going to be able to be getting high.
No.
But, I mean, honestly, I think if you're a sheriff and you live in California, and if you're a highway patrol, if you're a police officer and you feel like you want to be able to smoke cannabis, I think they should be able to smoke cannabis as well. One, because I think it'd make them a lot more tolerant to what's going on out there. They would see that cannabis isn't this horrible drug that's killing everybody, and I think it would shine a lot more light on the things that are really killing people out there. There's cocaine, there's crack, there's heroin, there's PCP, people were smoking what was that, bath salts,
man,
not that
long
is ago, you know what I mean?
Shit.
You could buy that straight off of the counter. And I don't know if you guys ever tried the salvia.
I
tried that before, bro.
I did.
I
went in a different, I'll get into my salvia experience some other time, but it's definitely more powerful than any drug I've ever experienced. It's on the level of shrooms and acid. Now, it's and kids are smoking this, with no experience or anything. You have to have a strong mind, or else you can go a little skitsy on that shit.
Oh yeah, that stuff will definitely knock you out. And but I think with more cannabis research, and that's where we're headed with more cannabis research, we're going to get away from things like that. Things like salvia and PCP and crack and all that. We'll get away from those types of things, because if marijuana is more readily available, that's what people are going to go for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's harder to get a hold of heroin, well, then I'd rather go smoke about 10 fucking joints, and I know most people would too.
Yeah. You're going to think about that after too. You're not going to just go run back to the heroin after 10 joints.
No. And that's the thing. It's a medication. I'd rather people smoke weed than pop pills. I'm from Massachusetts, and there's an epidemic out there. I've lost a few friends, and rest in peace. I can count on two hands. I'll say at least 10 people from opiates. Have either overdosed or committed suicide. And I have a friend who he works at the morgue, and he calls me. He said, "Hey, you remember this kid from high school?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I just buried him today." And I'm like, "Fuck, dude, I don't even want to go on Facebook, and I don't want to see this stuff." And if some of them are the same ones. They were like, "Oh, I won't smoke weed," and they're like, "Oh, marijuana is a gateway drug." None of these guys have ever fucking smoked weed. They fucking went straight to fucking opiates because their doctors prescribed them painkillers for whatever. They had a broken fucking arm, or you need it for that, But if you're back sore, or come on now, doctors are just too quick to sign that line, get people on this shit.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
No, I feel you on that. Yeah, doctors are way too fast to prescribe opiates. And one of the things I was reading last night, because got to do a lot of research here for the show, was that it actually is being proven that opiate addiction is going down in states that have medical marijuana and recreational marijuana, because
Thank
people
you.
are taking themselves off of it, telling them, the doctors, I don't want to take opiates anymore. Why would I want to take that pill that completely fucks me up? It takes away my pain and makes me feel good, but it makes me a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
And I can come over here and I can puff off of this TerpHouse pen, or I can take a bong toke, or I could smoke a joint and feel exactly the same, put less medicine into my body, put a better medicine into my body, and have just as good of effects, where I'm actually able to get up and do something with my life and not just be this fucking couch zombie all the time.
You hear that? Listen. It's the truth right here. You're hearing it first on Kaotic Radio. If anyone has had any experience with marijuana, or opiates or whatever addiction, call the station here at 909-360-8330. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on addiction and marijuana.
I want to hear your thoughts on anything. If you guys have any questions at all, just call and ask us. If you heard us say something that might be a little bit misinforming, or if you have some more information to add to our conversation, please give us a call. Even if it's something we spoke about last week or 20 minutes ago, whatever, give us a call. We'll go back to that topic, and I'd love to discuss whatever cannabis news that we can discuss.
Oh yeah.
And one thing here I want to bring up, we're discussing all of this and cannabis getting forced. Well, did you know that West Virginia has just passed medical marijuana bill 28-6?
Go.
So yeah, we got one more state joining the bandwagon, and probably going to go recreational pretty soon for everybody if more states get on the medical marijuana
Good job.
bandwagon there. So Street man, how long you been smoking weed, bro? When a man takes that long to think, it's a long fucking time, people. Let me tell you what. He is thinking hard right now.
It's been a long time. It's a long time. A real long time. Yeah, a long time. Let's just say that.
Just say that. You don't want to give away his age or anything.
Here we go.
I'm glad I always resolved back to smoking, because it's been a stress reliever.
Yeah.
I feel like smoking right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
We need a break. We're gonna
take our 420 break here pretty quick, man. It takes away a lot of stress and builds a lot of ideas, and then when you fall back into the medium after all that, you got everything right. You got to give yourself time. So my time to myself is smoking. That's what's up. Yeah, me too. I like smoking with people, but honestly, like 3/4 of the time, I'm generally smoking by myself, because I just want to get high and relax and not deal with shit and just kind of take my mind off what just happened all day. I work 3 damn jobs every day, so it's a stressful time, bro.
Grind.
What do you use cannabis for, Frank?
Me, I use it for creativity. Sometimes I get stuck in my thoughts and trying to make decisions and stress as well. I can't say ADD, attention deficit. I've been diagnosed, but that it seems to help me get through the creative roadblocks that I hit often. So once I medicate, I forget that I'm stuck or whatever. I just move forward, or a thought comes out of nowhere, and just really amazing things happen. So I can say that I've been medicating now since 2000. I was a late bloomer. I started like 2001. No, 1999. It's the first time I started medicating, and haven't stopped since. I've been working. I've been a productive member of society. I've been paying taxes. I've had a job every year, and I haven't stopped. So for them to say marijuana makes you unproductive, lazy, this is fake news. It's a fake news. I'm not the typical stoner. I don't sit around, play video games.
You are fake news.
There we go.
Just the only thing you gotta worry about is watching your lighter.
Watch your lighter. That's it. I've lost a few of those, and I went home with a few.
Yeah, I will say that potheads and stoners are the biggest lighter gangs in the whole world right there, aren't they? Well, we got to take a couple-minute break here. We'll be right back at you on Kaotic Radio with the Cannabis Couch presented by TerpHouse.
All right.
right, welcome back everybody to Kaotic Radio. This is the Cannabis Couch with your host Shay C, my man
Frank in the house,
and we got Street over there doing the what is that, Facebook Live you got going on over there, Street?
Instagram Live. I just got
Instagram
about
Live.
18 people just signed in.
Why don't you shout out your Instagram there, bro? Have everybody cruise over there.
Street Entertainment or Street_Entertainment. And you can catch all the finest videos and low riding. And I'm about to shout out all these people that's signing in also.
What's up? Give them a shout out, bro. They showing us some love.
One Way Car Club, Carlos, Jake, Faxer, Just Low Riders, Classic Cars, Yo Chris Cooking, Scapes, Mario 1972. All of you guys, they're going to get in the mix right now. I'm going to ask them questions also. But Just Low Riders at Instagram and Street Entertainment.
What's going on. What's up, everybody out there on Instagram? I see you all showing us some love with those hearts. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, everybody out there.
Big Dog LBC.
That's
Big
what's
Fox
up.
Designs.
What's up, Big Dog LBC? Well, at break here, we were looking up a few more things because, we're all about cannabis education here on the Cannabis Couch. And it looks like something's happened in Arizona recently. Frank, what is that?
Oh, the ban on marijuana on college campuses has been struck down.
Boom.
Boom. So you can, hey, what's that movie with Method Man and Redman?
That's
How
How
high?
high. Get high on the college campuses. There you go.
I gotta tell you, I wish I had a friend that I could put his ashes into a fucking plant. He makes me a genius. I can go to fucking Harvard.
Man.
Goddamn, what that be the shit?
Yeah.
I'd be that homie if I died and y'all sprinkle me on your fucking plants. Because if I can come back, I'll send y'all motherfucking asses to Harvard. Don't think I wouldn't.
That's what I was going to say before the last break. Like my fan base here, I asked most of them how many of you guys smoke. And I was trying to update them that every event I go to, I smoke at.
Yeah.
You know, everything we do, we smoke. From the riders to the interviewers to the Estivals to the B-Reels to the, I'm not going to put too many names, to the Currency. I'm going to shout my boy out to Twin, to everybody. All the OGs, we all smoke to have a good time. And half of those people also have educations and have well-groomed jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Chaotic Radio. I forgot, that's where we're at, chaoticradio.com. And most people have well-groomed jobs and they also smoke. And with that, that pushes your culture forward when you can be able to think outside the box with what you do. And it's obvious, it's on the front line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, very much, very much.
It's not chaotic, but it's on the front line.
That it is.
That's right. Well, we're fucking chaotic here. That's why we get to be on this radio, because we are uncensored, can say what we want, and we can talk about cannabis all fucking day if we feel
and
like
shout out
it.
to our sponsors, the TerpHouse. You can follow them at the TerpHouse.
The TerpHouse.
On Instagram and all social media.
Or you can get some. Can they get that gear also?
We do have gear available right now. We are currently sold out of all of our hats and shirts and everything, but we will have some more fly ass gear up on our website here coming up pretty soon. We're gonna start doing some more events with the TerpHouse as well, so we'll be giving out some free gear and shit like that when we go to the Cannabis Cups. And we like to, we're here for the people, bro, so we like to hand out, we like to give away as much as possible. And so you like our gear?
I'm gonna leave you a hat. I just got this Saturday I was down in San Diego, and these guys, the Usual Suspects. It kind of made sense. He said everybody's a usual suspect.
Yo, they DJs?
They might,
Yo, my boy Alex is one of the Usual Suspects.
Okay,
bro.
so them. Shouts out to them.
Well.
They threw me a hat and some gear, and I was like, just little things, because I was smoking. Once again,
of course.
I was smoking, and that brought the connection together down at the marina in San Diego. And they had a booth, and I ride the hoverboard when I film.
Right.
So I ride the hoverboard, I film, and I smoke. And at the end of the show, they're like, "Hey, Street, come here." I'm like, "What's up?" Blunt in my mouth. Say, "Here, take this. You're a usual suspect."
That's what's up. That's what's up. I've actually always wanted one of those Usual Suspect hats. So if you got one I can have, I fucking love it, because I have not been able to meet up with Alex, that busy ass motherfucker.
And I'm coming for one of those tarp hats.
Oh shit! I got
in
you.
green.
I got you a tarp hat,
Y'all
bro.
see that?
It's right here.
Check it out.
That's cold.
Oh,
there you go.
Right
Check
here.
that out. He's gonna blow that up on his Instagram right now. TerpHouse hat. Got Terps on the
That's
underneath of the
stupid
bill.
cold.
the
Look at
TerpHouse.
We're all about TerpHouse here.
That's right.
And if you're checking it out on Instagram, that is my Darkwing Duck Pen, courtesy of Justin710. Thank you very much. He has a TerpHouse rep and a very good friend of mine, lives out there in Vegas. Shout out to you, Justin. Thank you for always being a good supporter and a good friend. So, Frank, man, what was going on with that ban there? We hit a little bit and we kind of got off of it. So the ban is they can have cannabis on campus now? Is that what they're saying there?
I think, they were enforcing it.
They're enforcing the fact that you couldn't have it. Now they're just kind of not enforcing it. Just kind of saying,
that's why they're saying, the ban is lifted for now because it got, people fought it and
I think educators here in America are educated. Fuck, apparently I'm not. Are educated, and they're seeing the fact that these kids are not criminals. These kids are not doing something bad. They're sitting in their dorm rooms. They're getting high, and they're going to class every day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're not failing their classes. Nothing like that. I smoked weed my entire career of going to high school and to college. I was a scholar athlete in high school, and I had A's and B's in all the trade schools I decided to go to because I couldn't really take an actual college. I'm not going to lie. That shit kind of just really wasn't my fucking thing. Mm-hmm. But I got high the entire time.
Yeah.
And I never, ever slacked on anything. So when people tell me, stoners are slackers, they're this and they're that, I tell them, well, you're looking at a stoner, and I ain't a fucking slacker. I got 3 jobs I work every fucking day. This being my second one, I get to leave here and go to another one.
Right,
Just because hustling is hustling, man. Money doesn't fucking sleep, and so apparently I can't either.
You have a career, that's my career is hustle.
Marijuana doesn't slow me down,
Mm-mm.
It takes the edge off of everything. Like, it takes the edge off, and it gives you a whole new brain. It gives you a whole new spark.
What it does, it gives me a focus, bro. Usually, I'm not gonna lie, like I have ADD, not to the point where like I've been diagnosed with it, right? But I have a form of it where I can't really fucking concentrate sometimes. If I got 6 things on my mind, I'm literally trying to think about all fucking 6 things at once.
Right.
And it's nerve wracking. I'm sure Street, you got a lot of shit on your plate. So all of a sudden, 6 different people talking to you, got 6 different projects. And you got them all within the last fucking hour. Right. You know what I mean? So what do? You sit down, you smoke a joint, and you make a fucking plan. Like, all right, well, this project helps me focus, get my shit in line in order to be as successful as I am. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm the most successful person in the world, but I have a radio show. What do you have?
What do you got?
When I smoke, I invent things. That's what they were saying here.
That's from, what's up. Cool.
Little JJ26 and Delano and all them. Keep it green, a couple of them said. And they go in. What's you guys' opinion? Who smokes out there? Because they're getting in right now. What about what you were saying about how would they tax it, and what will it become,
Man, honestly, I don't know what it's going to become, and that's kind of one of the scariest things to me, to be honest with you, Street, is because this industry has been left up to, I hate to put it this way, but the stoners forever. This is a stoner industry. Just recently, over the past 5 to 7 years, have we really actually had businessmen coming in? Have we really actually had big money, hit the pot? Don't get me wrong. There's always big money in weed and in the cannabis industry. But when, you're talking millionaires from other things are coming in and starting to invest millions of dollars. Yes. You got rappers coming in investing all the money that they've made. I really don't know where it's going to go, because I have a feeling that mom and pops are going to get shoved out of the business.
When you say,
what's up?
I brought a clip too for you. When you say rappers, see, like right about here, it's like one of the last concerts I was with my boy Currency and them, and you could just see from the crowd, maybe you can just say to the people, if they can't see, just how the crowd, you see the crowd and the reaction. Everybody in the crowd smoking,
and they're chilling.
Chill.
And they're chilling, and they basically invested in time. When it comes to smoking, it's like, I'm gonna buy some good weed. I'm gonna go out here and light candles. We're gonna have the teddy bear on stage. We're gonna have our favorite rappers around, our favorite friends around. We're gonna have a good time. This is special moments, special memories when it comes to smoking.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Some of my best friends have been made over smoking some weed, dude, smoking some bowls. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I've always been able to make friends because smoking weed. I bounced around a lot as a kid.
Mhm.
My dad was a hash smuggler, and so I didn't necessarily get to always spend, even a year at the same school. I'm not shitting you. I went to 12 different elementary schools and switched school 18 times while I was in elementary school.
Right.
And, man, I went to 4 different middle schools, and finally in high school I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I play sports. I'm fucking staying here. Plus, my grandma worked in my high school, so I made that shit super simple.
Yeah.
But I bounced around a lot, and I started smoking weed at a very young age. I started smoking weed at 12, probably because my dad was a fucking hash smuggler. You know what I mean? It wasn't like it was ever told no. It wasn't a stigmata in my house. It was, if you want to get high, handle your shit, and then you can get high as you want. You know what I mean? You get good grades. You're on your varsity sports. You can go get as high as you fucking want, but continue to be on your shit.
Well, did you ever smoke with them?
My parents?
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
That's cool.
Okay.
I've never smoked with my dad, but I did find his stash. You know,
Are you
that's
kidding?
one thing when you find your dad's stash.
I used to get weed because my parents weren't together anymore. They broke up when I was like 2, which was probably the best decision they ever made.
Yeah.
But I used to go to my father's house, and I would go get, a couple ounces of some Cron or whatever to last me through a couple of weeks, because back when I was a kid, fucking ounce would have lasted my ass a week and a half, because you think, oh, I'm getting high. Fuck, you smoking half a fucking gram and you're loaded. Now I take half-gram bong tokes, you know what I mean? But I used to get a couple ounces from my fucking dad, and I'd take 1 ounce, and I would hide that motherfucker in my room as best I could, and I would leave out like an eighth or a quarter or some shit, because I knew my mom was going to come in there and take it. But every fucking time, my eighth or quarter would be sitting there, but my ounce I hid be fucking gone.
Oh man, my story. My cousin was paraplegic. I moved around a lot like you. I mean, from town to town, from elementary school. My dad was a Green Beret, and I ended up living with my grandmother. I went from the we'll call the projects of Cambridge, Massachusetts, to the suburbs of Tewksbury, Mass, and 2 different worlds, totally 2 different worlds. But my cousin was paraplegic. He broke his back. I don't know, he did something crazy. He was playing backyard football and snapped, his neck. His friend, they said he would have been fine, but his friends tried to pick him up. They thought he was joking.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes, bro. But no, so I'm saying he couldn't roll his own joints. So he would ask me to roll his joints for him. And that's how I learned to roll joints and smoke. I smoked some of his weed.
Well, you know what? Another thing, have you found anything about they want to tax the bud, but look how the rosin and look how the wax is coming into effect.
See, I think with that too, that what my hopes with that, actually, let's say what I think. What my honest hopes are with that is that most of that isn't going to be around anymore. Because understand, there is some very, very good shatters out there, some very good rosins out there, some very good companies doing this right. But 80, 85, and I hate to say it, probably even 90% of the companies out there are only doing it half right.
Right.
And if you're doing it half right in an industry where you're giving people medicine, you're doing it all the way wrong. In my opinion, it's like telling the half truth is a whole lie. Well, if you're telling somebody that one thing is in your product, when in fact you don't know, or that there could be more harmful potential things, there could be more pesticides, there could be PG, could be all kinds of stuff in those that you're not disclosing to these people, or maybe possibly because you don't have good enough of an education to tell what's in there, or you don't want to spend the money going to SC Labs. Shout out SC Labs, does all the testing for TerpHouse. If you don't have the money to go there, then you're not going to be able to figure out everything that's exactly inside of your medicine. And I think that a lot of those guys aren't doing that, or what they're doing is that they're taking one batch and they're testing one batch and saying, okay, well, this is how the rest of it's coming out. When in fact, is if your temperature variance went up or down, if your pressure, if you're making rosin is a little bit different, then your batch is not going to be exactly the same. Hell, if the temperature in the room that you're making it in isn't the same, it can actually all come out to be a different consistency. If it's too hot in the room, you can have more CBNs in it. For instance, when my father first taught me how to make hash, we literally bought a industrial size and strength walk-in freezer.
Wow.
That's where our tumbler was. That's where everything was. All the product went from being cut down straight into the freezer. Kind of flash freezes it, you know what I mean? Like they do with green beans and peas and all that kind of BS. But that's where it was. That hash powder would not exit the freezer until it was done.
Yeah.
And I'm either talking done as in we would literally press it and everything in there. We had our press, all of it was right inside of there, which to people, freezers will ruin your presses. Just to let you know, I went through about 5 or 6 of those damn things because the hydraulic fluid does not like to be that cold. But the hash wouldn't leave the freezer until it was fully done, and we made really, really good product. And for 15 years, we weren't able to get it tested. Those labs, SC Labs and the other ones, they didn't exist. You know what I mean? But once SC Labs came about, my father took his stuff down there and got it tested, and it was some of the best stuff that I've ever seen test results for to this day. And the sad thing is that my father is so old school that those ways are being lost. You know what I mean? The old school hash. My father can make ancient, or as he calls it, it is a Tibetan ancient white hash. And this stuff is so awesome that after you make it and you press it, you put it in the freezer, or it was in the freezer for us. But you can take a patty of this stuff and break it in half, and it's actually fully white down the middle of the hash puck. And so it was some stuff that was just amazing. I mean, it literally took, just 0.1. And you would be where you wanted to be. It was like smoking half of a joint. If you were just smoking little itty bitty hit, one itty bitty hit, bro. If I put it in the pipe for you, you'd look at me like I was fucking nuts.
Yep.
No,
but then you hit it and you blow it out. I mean something that is literally like a quarter of a penny size. You're blowing out a gigantic bong toke only because there's so much packed. There's so much hashish, just true hashish.
I thought finger hash was strong.
Well, this is stronger than finger hash,
Wow.
bro. This is truly stronger than finger hash because this is actually taking the plant and taking the trichomes and breaking it down to where you're getting hash powder. Now, people think that there's a very big similarity between keef and hash powder, but you couldn't be even more wrong. They're two completely different things. Keef, hash powder, totally different. Keef has got byproduct in it, has leaves in it, it has a lot of things in it that have come off of the plant. Has plant matter, pistolas. It has all of it sitting in there. Just very, very
It's
microscopic,
down, yeah.
right? When you have hash powder, you actually are only taking the trichome of the plant, and you can actually separate that, and that's all done by temperature. And everybody thinks like right now they're doing it with rosin and they're using high heat. Well, the funny thing is that I was in a room that was 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Making better hash than what these guys are because they're pressing it with heat and pressure. When the true thing is that if you're separating the trichome from the if you're separating the trichome from the plant, trichomes stick to trichomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So if you get a bunch of keef and you got a bunch of big old balls, that's because there's a bunch of that's because there's a bunch of plant matter surrounding that trichome, and those trichomes aren't able to stick together because plant matter doesn't stick to plant matter, but trichome sticks to trichome.
So with rosin, you're only getting half?
With rosin, you're getting a portion of what's in there because you're actually breaking up that trichome, right? Because the trichome has kind of an invisible layer on it. It's called a force field.
Yeah.
Right? And so what you actually want to do is not break that force field. You want those force fields to connect to each other, and then after all of that, you smash them together in order to get your thing.
Like a crystal.
Like a crystal, exactly. Yeah. With what they're doing with rosin, don't get me wrong, it's a great product, and it's probably one of the healthiest ways out there to smoke dabs or anything like that. But what they're doing with rosin is that they're pressing it, and at the same time, if you're using incorrect heat and incorrect pressures, you're going to pull a lot of the other oils out of that plant, like chlorophyll and the other bad things that are in there. I'm so sorry I can't remember right now because I'm having a complete brain fart.
Right.
But there's a lot of other oils that are in that plant that are also being extracted
CBDs
through that rosin, right?
Right.
And not necessarily all of them are bad, but not necessarily all of them are good
right.
either.
He's got some information.
You know what I mean? Well, man, I've been doing this a long time. I've been to Oaksterdam. Shout out Oaksterdam up there in Oakland. Gave me a very, very good education.
Right.
I have many.
What was that experience like?
Oh,
because I wanted to go up there.
Let me tell you what. You fucked up by not going.
Yeah.
Because it is one of the coolest fucking places you will ever go. Talk about having everybody on the same fucking level, bro.
Yeah. And
like,
people would want to learn, right?
Like, yeah, it's people that want to learn. Everybody's up there to learn. Everybody's up there to better themselves. You know what I mean? It's not like you go to a festival and you get to talk to people and they're very into it. Yeah, they love cannabis. But these people up there, cannabis is a fucking passion. All right. If there was no money in this shit, half of these dudes would still be in this shit.
Right.
No matter what.
No matter what. And I'm not gonna lie, I got in this shit when it was $4,000 a pound. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got in. I was making a killing. I bought in 2 houses and cars and boats and Sandras and all kinds of shit off of fucking weed. You know what I mean? And thank you for the money, but to be quite honest with you,
it was highball back then.
It was highball, man. I miss them motherfucking days. Don't think I don't.
The game's changed.
I had a really nice house and a nice Acura back in the day. Fuck. But you know, things got to change. And I'm actually happy that things are changing. I'm happy that marijuana is becoming more affordable. I really hope with Prop 64 it stays affordable, because that's really how you get it to the masses. Just being able to buy it is one thing. Being able to afford it is another. Because anybody can walk into a Bentley dealership, but not everybody can drive out in one.
Right. So what do you tell the people that have these dreams of starting to grow and they're going to put all their money into it, their kids' college fund and
you're too late.
The house? Hey, you heard it.
You're too late.
You're too late.
You're
Don't
too late.
do it.
If you want to grow weed on a gigantic scale, go find somebody else doing it and work for them. Because if you want to jump in on it now and you want to all of a sudden throw your life savings at it, well, fuck, your kids are going to be pissed because you're about to spend their college money and it is all going to go down the drain. There's a saying, and my father told me this back in the day. He said, it is easy to grow weed. That is why they call it weed. But it is hard to grow good cannabis, son.
Hey.
And that is the truth. You can throw seeds out there, and them motherfuckers are going to grow. Just give them some water. They're going to grow. But is it going to be good at the end of the day?
So grow, grow, what, five or 6 plants and just grow for yourself.
Oh, yeah, I say take it to the max, man. Grow the 6 plants you can grow. And remember, there are no, limits on how big they can be.
Right.
They just cannot be seen by the public. So if you can have a 40-foot building, you can have 30-foot plants. And a lot of times people tell me I don't want a 30-foot plant. Well, goddamn, you ever seen one? It's the most beautiful thing in the world.
They're massive, the stalks on those things.
And if you can grow, that's what I'm used to growing, is I grow massive plants. I like to grow anything between 14 feet and about 18 feet.
How wide?
Well, they're usually about 8 to 10 feet wide. Off a good outdoor plant that I grow, I can usually pull about 2.5 off of it. But I only pull about 1.5 of truly good herb. The rest of it is on the inside. It becomes hash making, tumbling material. You know what I mean? And because I only want to sell the flour that's good flour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rest of it that's bad flour, I take it and I turn it into some good hash. I do not blow it down. I do not make shatter or rosins or anything like that. I make true hash. And I may take 10 pounds and I only get 2 ounces out of it, but it's the best 2 ounces of hash I've ever had in my life. So, you take the good with the bad. And to be honest with you, it's not good anyways. It's not something that I myself can sleep at night by selling to somebody. It's the stuff that, if my boys come over and they can't afford nothing, I tell them, well, you can go through that bag. Don't be mad at me what you find in there, but whatever you find in there, you're more than welcome to. You feel like rolling it up, roll it up, homie.
Yeah.
But
and what were you saying about Willie, off the subject of cultivation?
Oh, Willie's wife. Yeah, Willie's
Yeah.
wife just launched a medical marijuana product line, bro. Did you look that up there for me?
I'm looking for it. Willie's wife.
Willie Nelson, somebody that he's been an advocate for marijuana and cannabis since it was a bad stigmata. He is never somebody that has shied away and said, oh, I don't smoke weed or anything like that. He's always said, I'm a smoke weed.
Yeah, he's stuck with his guns.
Hey, I heard this one time that Willie Nelson ran into a burning house to get a pound of weed and his guitar.
Amen.
You got to know what's important to you, right?
So here it is. Willie Nelson's wife released her own line of weed products. Let's see. What other products all about? She makes her infused chocolates for people who want to enjoy gourmet cannabis chocolate in a controllable way. Okay. The gluten-free, zero crap. What is this? She also uses a zero crap policy that allows the chocolates to be vegan, gluten-free, environmentally conscious, and 100% raw. So she's pushing healthy chocolate.
I'm sorry, I call that killing the game.
Killing the
there.
game.
She pretty much just came out and said, anybody can eat this.
Yeah.
No matter what allergy you have, no matter what, you can go ahead and you can eat this. You can use this.
I got something.
Beautiful woman.
What's the point of those those suckers. You know how you walk into a cigar shop or a lounge or something, they got those suckers. Is it just for flavor? When are we gonna have some that's for you know what?
We have some for cannabis actually right now.
No, I mean some good ones. That's gonna make me feel good in the club where they don't want you to smoke.
Well, see, that comes with more research,
You know,
right there, because with more research, we're going to be able to separate this plant a lot better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And because most of the reason right now, the way that they taste is kind of like you might as well just grab a nug and bite it.
Right.
Because it's like a nug with some, apple flavoring just kind of thrown on top of it. And I really think that that's the extract method. I think when the extract methods get better, get more refined, then our suckers, our edibles, our things like that will also start to taste better, because we're going to still have the cannabis, we're going to still have the medicine inside of it, but we're going to get to take that away. And another thing is that I think when we get a lot better of understanding of terpenes, that is what gives cannabis its smell and its flavoring. So when we get a lot more understanding of terpenes and what terpenes actually do, I know we've discussed it on the show and what terpenes do and everything, but still, no matter how much we've discussed, we've only scratched the surface of that. And so I do believe with more research into those types of things, it's going to make those types of products better. Our suckers are actually going to taste like suckers. Like, we'll get some, they're going to taste like blow pops, but they're going to be, they're going to
I'll take a sour one,
Yeah.
I'll take it sour, and I want to, like somebody say, that's some OG or that's some this and that and this and that. I'll take the OG or the sour diesel, or of the crop.
But we also have to be very careful in that realm because of the fact that we did just past 64. See, with 215 it was a little bit easier. You could make suckers, you could kind of make these gummy candies that were infused and stuff like that. But with 64, it very, very specifically says you cannot have packaging that markets to children.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I actually know someone who accidentally left their medical medibles down.
Edibles.
Yeah, and somehow they ended up in a backpack, before the kid went to school. But, luckily it was caught in time. They realized they screwed up, and then they basically had to put their stuff in a safe. Medical marijuana should be treated like a medication.
They're starting to show those commercials on cigars now.
Yes.
The kids playing and whatnot. And they're saying because they have these flavors of French vanilla wrap and all these other ones that, it's causing danger. So, I mean, it's just like anything else. Toys R Us is for kids, and right.
Well, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it comes down to parenting.
The bars are for adults.
Yeah. It comes down to parenting.
Will there be bars? Will there be smoke bars?
You know what, man? I'm actually not sure about that. I know that we have some now. We have dab lounges and stuff like that.
No. I'm talking about smoke bars.
No, see, I don't think there will be, because I just don't think there will be. I don't think we're going to be accepted that much.
Any community can handle that. There's
not yet. I think that we're working towards that.
Wow.
We have a few years until we get there. We're still fighting the stigmata we're fighting 10 years ago, and look at where we are. Look at how much.
Will we live to see that? Me and you? From the 4 pound days to the.
I want to say yes, because I remember 10 years ago I didn't think I'd see today. So yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
Remember 20 years ago we thought cars would fly.
Well, you know what? That is true.
We have a flying motorcycle that just went to the market.
Nice.
Well, see, cars fly.
Well, I gotta say
on sale.
about weed bars. At least you're not gonna go home with the ugly chick.
That's true. That's true. It is not going to give you beer goggles, man. Did he just make the best point? He just made the best point right there.
Nice. All right, we're gonna go to a commercial break, and we'll see you guys when we get back.
Have a good time. Smoke one for me, everybody.
Yeah.
Can you dig it? little darling, you got nothing upstairs.
And hell yeah, that is one way to come back from our break. I hope everybody had a good one. Took a couple of puffs like we did and got in the right frame of mind. How you feeling, Frank? How you feeling, Street?
Feeling good.
Feeling awesome.
Feeling awesome. That's what I like to hear right there. Good's good, but awesome is better. I see, Frank, you're going over here. You're at the TerpHouse website. What are you doing, bro?
Oh, I was just going on the website here. There are some products on. There are some products you got to try out. Basically, TerpHouse terpenes, different flavors. Some green crack. Some what else we got? We got some purple indica, some cookie, and some haze. Oh, super lemon haze. That's my favorite. One of my favorites.
That is. I was just gonna ask you, what's your favorite that they have there at the TerpHouse?
Super lemon haze.
Super lemon haze. Yeah, my favorite actually. I hate sativas, but the green crack. Honestly, the green crack disposable pen is probably one of my favorites that they produce.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is. Maybe like Lambo says, they don't cut it. It is what it is, and everything in their pens is solid. It's to the point, and it works for me. Most pens don't work for me, but TerpHouse definitely works all day.
Yeah, well, their percentages actually, their percentages live up to what they say. And a lot of companies they post fake percentages, but we're not going to go into that. We're going to keep it real. I love the products. Green crack in the morning, and then I got some super lemon haze in the afternoon, and I'm good.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm very familiar with them TerpHouse products. I love those things. I would smoke them all day long. So
where can the listeners get it?
They can go to www.theterphouse.com. You can enter the coupon code Kaotic Radio to get a little bit of something extra at checkout. And I also have a code, SHAY-C, at checkout if you would want to as well. But like I said, it doesn't really matter which code you use. Go over there, check out the products, because I guarantee you that it's going to be the best pen, cartridge, whatever you want to call it, that you have had. They're the best in the market.
It won't harm. It's no secondhand smoke.
Nope. No. These are like just like little vapes. You know what I mean? It disappears. So I mean, I've walked around. I shouldn't be saying this, but I've walked around my son's school many times, puffing on a TerpHouse pen.
Okay.
Shit, you around 200, 300 little fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be medicating, or else I'm gonna be going fucking nuts. I can spend about 5 minutes there, and I need to leave.
So TerpHouse has every flavor and every sense of, I would say, satisfaction that can be offered through them.
Definitely. They may not have every flavor that is available, but all the flavors they have are definitely going to give you the spectrum that you're looking for. There's many different indicas, there's hybrids, there's sativas. So anything you're really looking for, the TerpHouse is going to be able to provide it for you.
Shouts out TerpHouse.
Man. They're big sponsors. I love them, man. Carl. They are the reason that I get to sit here on this mic and talk some shit, and y'all have to listen to me because it's my radio show now.
Yeah.
But, all jokes aside, they're great guys. They are great gentlemen. They are really here in this game to do something different and to provide a great product for everybody. I know this for a fact. Maybe I shouldn't be saying it. I know I've heard Lambo say it, though. But they lose money every day in order to do business correctly.
All right. It's a learning process.
I don't know a lot of businesses out there that are going to stay in the business, knowing that they're going to lose money today and continue to operate that business just because they know that it's the right thing to do and they know that they're going to offer the right level of products to the people. And they're not going to lie. And they're going to back their product 100%. It is said that if you take one of their cartridges, you take it to SC Labs and you have it tested, you show us the lab results, we will give you a year's worth of cartridges and pens for free.
Yes.
That is how it goes.
That's it.
We want you to take it. We want you to take us and say, hey, are you a man of your word? Well, yes, we are.
Yeah.
We definitely are. And if you take those other competitors' pens and you test them up against ours, I can guarantee you that TerpHouse will come out on top. That's what we do.
TerpHouse.com?
TerpHouse.com.
The TerpHouse.
Yeah, TheTerpHouse.com. And also follow them on Instagram at The TerpHouse.
Mm-hmm.
Great group of gentlemen. Like I said. Lots of them right now where I am, including sitting in this chair.
Nice.
And I believe so does Frank.
Yeah.
So,
shout out.
So yeah, thank you very much to those guys.
Thank you.
But like I said, they're not the only company out there that's doing it correctly. And I really want to give a big shout out to all the companies that are out there doing it correctly. Whether you're making money or you're not making money, if you're doing it right, thank you very much, and continue your hustle, and do not stop that, because that's exactly what this industry needs. We need to be able to have good medicine made by good individuals who are not here for their profit margins. Because when Big Pharma gets here, that's all it's going to be, is profit margins. And if we band together now, if we stick together now, then we can make sure that we can control a good market for the patients and for the recreational people, in order to basically still keep control. Because in 5 years, when that ban lifts and you can do big grows, Big Pharma's coming in. I mean, they're already here.
Yeah.
They're already making a footprint because they see what's going to happen. And so in these next few years, it's really, really imperative that the cannabis community, not just in Southern California, not just in Northern California, not just in California, but as a nation, we come together and we tell Big Pharma, we've been doing this for 50, 60 years prior to y'all deciding to come in and jump in our game. And we know what we're doing. You know what I mean? We don't need Big Pharma in this at all. We have guys that are great growers. Shout out to the Jungle Boys, one of the really good growers. Shout out to Elite 91 as well. Great growers out there doing big things, doing big crops, and creating good medicine all at the same time. I mean, Jungle Boys just dropped a strain, bro. They dropped 2 strains at TLC. You should have seen the fucking line, dude, around the corner, because everyone knows that it's quality medicine.
Yeah.
It's got their name slapped on it, and everyone knows they're not going to put their name on it if it's half-ass.
Nope.
They're only going to put their name on it if it's badass. So very much, man, shout out to the Jungle Boys. You guys are doing it right, and you guys continue doing your thing. You will always have the support of the Cannabis Couch.
Thank you.
For sure. And Shay C. No matter how long anything goes on, I will always support you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now, Frank.
Yeah.
To switch gears a little bit here.
All right.
And to, let's give some people a little bit more background, because I'm sure we're going to have some good listeners chime in and everything. So why don't you give us a little bit more background on really where you came from and what's keeping you in the cannabis game?
Well, it's, where I came from. I started growing when I was, I started growing when I was about 17 years old. And, it was basically, bag seed and whatever. And I'd get some strains, some Northern Lights, and I just really did my research. I followed what Jack Harrer, learned the whole Sea of Green process and experimented. But I read High Times magazine. That's where I got my grow tips, and
shout out Bobby Black.
Oh yeah. And all right, so
Donnie Danko,
hell yeah, man. But and Kyle Kush, so I was a hobby grower, and I've been doing it ever. I stopped for a while because in Massachusetts you have that whole one. They'll give you a life. They had that. That law
you
was
look good in
bad.
jewelry, bro, but not bracelets.
Fuck no, I don't need that in my life. So I kind of cut it out. I got had parents. And my uncle was like, "There's no such thing as 5-minute friend." People would come over and buy their dime. They called them dime bags back then.
Oh yeah, I remember those. I remember dime bags.
I sold my nickels and dimes, dude, daily. And it was just too obvious that, people were coming in, buying and flying. So I'm like, all right, I need to try something else. Too much traffic in that home.
Too much traffic.
When you're a kid, you don't know better. You got to smarten up. But, I took a break for a while, moved to California, and I never ever thought that the laws would lighten up. But even as when I saw other people buying grow equipment early on, when it started, the rumors of it becoming legal, but I just didn't have enough knowledge, and I didn't want to get arrested, and I had a career, so I'm like, all right, I'm not going to play this game, and until I saw other people doing it.
At one point, me and my buddy, we're literally taping the room off, using that big bud, strawberry shit.
Oh, yeah.
We're using everything.
Open sesame.
Back
in the day, I remember that.
The damn water. We're going to buy water. We're going to, we're just babysitting this shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's not what your experience, but that's what was driving us. Like, man, fuck this right
It's
now.
a lot of work, man. You got to
work.
put the
man.
love. You get the love out that you put into the plant. You know, as long as you don't over love your plants, you're good.
Can you imagine trying to breed some dogs and
Yeah.
grow some good fine? And you know, when he says 4,000 days, I start to remember all these old things. I say, shit, you're getting a good harvest every almost 3 months.
Yep.
Now people are getting it 2.5, 2
Mhm.
months.
Yeah, but
I mean, like,
see,
fuck.
there's a real big problem with that, and because I come from where I come from, I started growing outdoors. You know, my father taught me how to grow monsters way before I ever learned how to grow a plant indoors.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest things why my dad always said that he decided to go outdoors and he didn't stick with the indoors thing, because he tried the whole sea of green method. I mean, we had truck backs, literally semi-truck trailers, 3 or 4 of those fucking things full of lights and lights on, you know, guiders, so they're going back and forth over all the plants and all
Dust
that
mites.
bullshit.
You know,
And-
they're keeping that shit
oh
away.
yeah, just keeping everything down. And it and my dad told me, he said, you know, it doesn't matter where the cannabis is grown, it really matters who's growing it, because it's the love of the plant, it's the love of the person that puts it in there, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and you can have you know, some guys that are awesome, you know what I mean, growing it, and for full production, and everything they get is testing it 35% THC. But you know, and I know this for a fact because it's this old man sitting his happy ass right now in Merino Valley who grows some of the best bud I've ever had in my
flavor.
life.
I mean, now
And he doesn't release any of it.
Yeah, you were talking about the 2-week. I mean, you know, the 2-month harvesters. They don't put as much love into it. They're about the dollar. You know, they're just perpetually harvesting for the dollar. There's no. I've smoked some of this where it's, and they sell it at the dispensaries where it's like, all right, this is, I got high, great, but where's the flavor?
Yeah, I had a guy just recently, you know, all the time. You know, he's year round with purple. I don't know if anybody likes purple weed.
Going to bed, I love
That's some
purple
couch
weed. Helps
lock.
me put to
But-
bed, yeah.
He grows purple all year round, and he grows a lot of Christmas buds all year round, and that's all he does. And he dresses like a bum. And then you see the other guys who are, you know, well, a couple years ago they were in the nice cars and the jewelry and all that shit, and the harvest coming in every 2-3 months, and you're running through it. You know, the days when we were just running, the days I knew when they were good. You're running down to Santa Ana, and then you're coming back home with like, or Orange County, you're coming back with like 10 capsules of different shit. You know what I mean? They had Obama. Remember when Obama came out and all those good days?
Monster and all that.
Tiger's Blood, remember Tiger's
Yeah,
Blood? And that
all
came
that
out.
shit,
That shit was
so.
the bomb.
Yeah.
You got two sides to this shit, but you got some real good growers out there. And you know, they got some real, it used to be, remember, humble. Now it's like, fuck, do you know such and such?
Yeah. Man.
Did you get your tips from him?
Yeah.
You know, Sensei?
Yeah, I feel you. It used to be, making a run to Humboldt. Oh, let me hit me back when you get back, because that's where the good herb was coming. And I have to say, with it being more accepted, I do have to say that I like that, the fact that now there's pretty much good bud everywhere here in California.
Everywhere.
And I like that, because California, we are the staple. We were the first. We are the best. I know Colorado, y'all think you're good out there, but I'm sorry, you will never be Southern California. Positive vibrations,
Hey,
I'll give you
positive
that.
vibes.
But at the end of the day, Southern California, we started this. OG stands for Ocean Grown, and that does.
Can we get
that
a
is
smoke
never
weed
gonna go
every
away.
day?
Oh, our engineer's a little bit busy over there.
You know
what?
He's a
It's-
busy man.
Imagine this, though. From my cousins to nephews to friends to people like that, they'll be out of town. And if you can get your Cali bud out of town somehow, some way, you know, you'll be in the club, Florida, Atlanta, you know, wherever you're at, and you spark your blunt or your joint, and everybody in the spot says, "That's Cali weed."
Damn, they know.
That's right.
You know,
Dude.
that's some they're from Cali.
Can't say I haven't done that.
You know, they don't say. I'm not knocking Colorado, because my boy, Colorado Lowrider, he comes to the Super Show all the time. He's ready. You know, he'll say, "Hey, this is such and such, or that's such and such." He'll know his shit, but people don't say, "That's that Colorado."
No.
Go to spring break or wherever.
It's that Cali bud.
And yeah, be in the club. My nephews were in there with Puffy and Jeezy and Hurricane Chris and all of them one summer and made the whole club almost whiplash.
Damn.
That's that Cali.
Damn, where'd you find that?
That's Cali. Or Currency. You know, he come out here before he was going down there having his spot in San Diego. He was like, that's that Cali.
It is.
Wiz, you all know.
You know, this is where it came from, bro. It was brought from the Kush Mountains in Afghanistan. One of the first places it landed was in Northern California.
Yeah,
you know, that's Kush.
Still grows up there. I mean, it still grows. I watched. I mean, you ever see Strain Hunters?
Mhm.
That show.
Rest in peace, Franco. Very
Yeah,
good
Franco. Man, thank you. You know, those guys really educated people on the cannabis plant. They actually risked their lives. I mean, they had to pay a lot of like tolls just going through Afghanistan and war torn.
Those men definitely risked their lives and committed their lives to this plant. I mean, people say that cannabis is a passion. I don't even think passion begins to describe what it was and what it is for those gentlemen. Because just, you know, like I said, rest in peace, Franco. Because everybody else is still up there and live and kicking. And Strain Hunters, man, please keep on doing what you guys do. You've been doing it for years, been doing it for decades. And I would love to just see you keep on doing it. I would love for my son when he gets older, look at me like, Dad, you know the Strain Hunters? I'm like, hell yeah, I know the Strain Hunters, kid. They've been around forever. You know, they're the OGs in the game. They're OGs right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So imagine what they're going to be in a few more years. And so, but it is because people like that we are able to sit here and have a talk show called the Cannabis Couch and do these types of things. And so without those pioneers in this game, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. Right. And much love and respect to everyone who gets up every day and risks your life for the passion of cannabis, because a lot of times you are risking your life, and there's a lot of states where you're risking your freedom, and there are places where you can just be killed for having cannabis. And for you people that are out there and that are pushing the envelope and that are really trying to do this because of what cannabis brings and because it is a medicine, for the love, that's right, for the love and for our culture, please don't ever stop doing it. And if you ever need, you know, a little pep talk, whatever, you can go ahead and you can give us a call right here, Cannabis Couch, 909-360-8330. Give us a call anytime you want, because I will be the first one to tell you, keep your love, keep your passion, and continue to grow your cannabis. Please educate yourself in the meantime as well. Like I said, shout out Oxford University. There are many other places in this great country of ours to get a cannabis degree or a cannabis education. Nothing short of also picking up a book. Barnes & Noble has a great selection of cannabis books. You just have to ask them. They are all in the back. They do not keep them on the bookshelves out front. So if you go to Barnes & Noble and you ask them, they will have a very, very, very good selection of cannabis books. It's where I've always gotten mine. Shout out to George Cervantes, Greg Green, and the man, the myth, the legend, my idol, Mr. Ed Rosenthal. Thank you very much for everything, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie,
yeah, he's the man. You know, I've taken a couple classes with him up there, and let me just say, I know shit compared to that man, and I know a good amount about cannabis, but I know about 1% of that man's knowledge, and he is just he's an encyclopedia of awesomeness when it comes to cannabis.
What do you think of who's that? Subcool. So you heard of Subcool?
No, I haven't. Who's Subcool?
Man, he I followed him. He believes in the set the soil, you know, super soil. So basically he amends his soil first, you know, basically, so the plant has everything it needs throughout its whole cycle. I've actually tried it, and I've had the most frostiest, delicious, flavorful bud I've ever fucking grown.
Now let me ask you, have you ever had that tested?
I have not had it tested, but you know, any Subcool, you know, seeds or Subcool listeners, you know, they call him what, the Green Avenger. You probably know him as the Green Avenger.
I believe I have heard that before.
Yeah. They a lot of the fertilizer companies were really hating on him for a while, because you know, he wasn't coming up with his own line or anything. He was just like, no, I'm keeping it organic. I'm not putting shit in my weed, basically.
Right.
He didn't want to teach anyone how to do that, but man, I've seen some of the most amazing buds, and you probably know some of the names. Jelly Bean, you ever heard of Jelly Bean?
Yeah, I've heard of Jelly Bean.
Yeah, they came up with that line, Jelly Bean.
That was a nice hybrid that they had back in the day. Yeah,
it was all right. You know, I liked it, and then but it all came from this one strain called Space Queen, And
I'm very familiar with Space
very
Queen.
familiar. So they're the developers of Space Queen. I know there's a lot of like, the whole thing with cookies is like, well, who really had that strain?
That came from the bakery.
From the
I don't
bakery.
care what anybody says.
Oh.
That all came from the bakery, and,
Yeah.
and everybody else kind of took and went off from there. But yeah,
Okay.
the guys up north at the bakery, they were the first ones to really put out cookies, Girl
But-
Scout cookies, Thin Mints, all that.
But
They
they're
were
weed
the
lovers,
mastermind.
the people who love the plant and they push the genetics to the highest limit. They're not screwing around with anything. They're just the ultimate goal is to come up with is just to have a good product, good strain,
Well, see, I think that the ultimate goal, yes, is to have a good product and a good strain. But also, I think that we need to kind of open up our view on what is a good product and what is a good strain.
Right.
Because strains that are 35% THC aren't necessarily going to do anything medicinal value for you. They're going to get you high, and they're going to be good for the stoner and for the recreational user, which, now a lot of states have passed and everything, which is great and everything. But I still want to stand behind the medical stance of this, is because none of this would ever have gone recreational if everybody didn't stand up and want medical first.
Right.
Medical, it basically blazed the trail in order to have this be recreational. And I believe with the more it goes recreational, I don't want to lose the art of the flower. Like I kind of see that we are right now. We're losing the art of the flower because so many people are just pushing crops out so they can blast them and so they can make shatter and do the blowdowns or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, the flower's good, but it's not as good as it can be because all they want out of it is the THC. And I know Lambo preaches this up, down, and sideways that you have to have terpenes, you have to have CBDs, you have to have THC, all working as a whole in your body and in your system in order for it to really, kick in. I forget his whole analogy, but Lambo said something like the terpenes were the anesthesia that kind of got you going, and then the
It's like he said it was like a padlock.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Certain CBDs or CBNs and THC combined together in the right doses unlocks your ailment, whatever it
right.
That's when it's
those
medicine.
receptors. Yeah, those receptors. And I think that that's what really needs to be researched and everything. I think it's cool to have high CBD strains. I think it's cool to have high THC strains and everything like that. But I mean, nature made this plant, and it's been millions of years. Do we really think as humans that we can beat nature and what it's done over these millions of years? And it put us on this earth, it put this plant on this earth, and we have systems within our body to use this plant in the correct fashion. And so I believe if we start taking some of those things out of the plant that nature put in, those things are there to help us.
Right.
We can't remove all of the CBDs. That's actually what's been proven to be the most medicinal value.
Yeah.
So if we start growing all these strains that are 35% THC but only 0.36% CBDs, honestly, what's really the point? I would rather have something that's 20% THC and 2% CBDs because that is gonna fuck you up.
Now you're freaking me out because do these businesses that are investing in marijuana now, do they know about this, or are they just going for high THC? Because every rumor, everything I heard, is everyone believes in the THC. Oh, it's low THC. I don't want that. But they're not doing the research.
See, I think that's
what happens to them.
That's the wrong mentality, and I think that just comes down to education.
Yeah.
A lot of incorrect facts have been thrown around out there lately, in the past few years. When I say late, and people didn't really take it upon themselves to go and fact check, to go and check and see if all of this was really true. And that's really what it comes down to, is that you can listen to the person behind the counter and they can tell you whatever they want. If they're talking out their ass, they don't know, it doesn't matter what they're telling you.
Yeah.
I've been to many dispensaries and I have an education, and I walk in those places and I ask the stupidest questions you can think of just because I want to hear the answers.
I want to drop a bomb on you.
What's up? Go ahead, Street.
I've never been in a dispensary before.
Well, you know what? I actually commend you for that, bro, because they're not all they cracked up to be, bro.
How does that sound?
They ain't all they cracked up to be. It's hard to believe. I ain't gonna lie, because you was smoking motherfuckers.
Yeah,
but
I've never been in a dispensary.
It is hard to believe. Yeah.
That's cool.
No.
Well, one of the first ones I ever walked in, I owned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing about it is there's guys I trust, and there's people I trust, like you were breaking down, and that's what it boils down to. You know, you hear all these people, all these little tricks and this and that and that, and you've done them yourself. You're like, okay, let me just stick with my family, because if he's smoking it, I'm smoking it, and if he's
That's
good,
right.
I'm good.
That's right. And I don't want to poison my family.
No.
You know, I don't really have a lot of friends. I have all family. I don't really get along with my honest to God family. I don't even really talk to.
Me neither.
I'm your friend.
Oh, you see, you're family. You're not a friend.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, we're
You're
family. We're
You're
Friends and
family.
family.
Shane's a friend.
Friends and family programs.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And
Chaotic radio.
I don't want to poison my
Streets are
friends.
friends.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm all
All
about
friends.
the clean medicine. You know what I mean? Clean medicine. Whether you're growing it for yourself or they're growing it for the masses, clean medicine is where this is all is. That's right. The Cannabis Couch.
Terp brought to you by TerpHouse and Kaotic Radio. That's chaoticradio.com.
909-360-8330 in between 4 and 6.
Yes.
On
I like how you give the phone
Mondays.
number there at the end of the show.
Well, we're also doing a show on Friday from 5 to 7. So go ahead, write down your questions now. Give us a call in on Friday, 909-360-8330. And we will be able to answer any of those questions you have. You got any last remarks there, Frank?
Yeah, follow me on Can Illusions, CANNILLUSIONS
I got one.
Instagram.
Stay tuned.
Oh, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're not
If
actually.
you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Chaotic.
That's right. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Well, everybody, this has been one hell of a show. I thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back Friday at 5 o'clock from 5 to 7. We have a very, very special guest coming in the studios. Make sure you tune in. And my new co-host, Danny Boom, will be here. Shout out, everybody. Thank you.
Shout
and
out.
have a great day. Shacy on Instagram.
Peace out.